Hey, Jules. Good afternoon. Hope you guys had an amazing Valentine's Day and you felt loved by those around you. So I have a word in my spirit today that I've just got to get out. Um, I was I went to town a few minutes ago, had a dentist appointment, and I went to Kroger afterwards to get my coffee because some awesome people got me some Starbucks gift cards for my birthday. Um, and I saw something very interesting, and it just like lit a fire in my soul. Um, I even like called mom. I was like, okay, I've got to preach to somebody. I'm gonna preach to you. Because I was going to talk about something totally different for today's video. I was going to talk about the Proverbs 31 woman and seeing the value within each of us. So that's not for today. That's going to be for a different day because this has me stirred. People in Kroger were walking around in short shorts, muscle shirts, shorts. I saw like 3 or 4 people. And y'all know me. We've done touched on this word a little bit whenever seasons change from fall to or from summer to fall. Y'all know how I'm about fashion. I love fashion. And y'all hear my heart. I ain't trying to be mean or offend anybody, but y'all know what I said. You look silly with your flip-flops in October. It's fall fashion. Flip-flops are no more. Y'all know how I am, but hear me spiritually. Y'all knew what I was saying. It's time. We're in a different season now. We need to stop holding on to summertime. So now we're in February. And I even mentioned this last week about how it feels warm outside. It even almost kind of smelled like warm. It just felt like, man, we're moving into spring. But the reality is when you look outside, there's no green grass hardly. There's no leaves. It's not springtime yet. It's not time for that yet. We're in February. We're not in spring yet. We have to do what we're called to do in this season and this time. We're not to rush or look ahead or not to look back, but be in the present moment of what we're supposed to be doing in the spirit realm. So these people that were walking around Kroger in their summer clothes have me stirred in the spirit because the things of the natural reflect the things of the spirit, right? So I'm like, these people are trying to, and I'm sorry if y'all had your shorts on today. Hear my heart. Y'all know I don't care if it's 85 degrees in February. I don't care. No, it's not time for that yet. Y'all know how I am about fashion. But because we have too many people in the spirit realm looking, and we're to keep our eyes ahead. But when you're in this season, you're to be doing what you're called to be doing in this season. Yeah, be prepared for the next. Be prepared. But while you're waiting for the next, you need to be busy about the Father's business, doing what He's called you to do in this season, not holding on to last season, not looking ahead and wondering what we're going to do next season, what's coming next, what am I going to do about this? What if there's always something better? We have to get our eyes off of always looking for something else, about the grass is greener on the other side, or what's going to be here or there up ahead. I'm worrying about what's ahead more than what I'm called to do in this moment. There's work to do in this season. You will get to spring and summer. You will get to wear your shorts. You will get to wear your flip-flops. But right now, it's February and it's time to work in this month and in this season. Okay. So it's like has me stirred. There are too many people looking back. Too many people always looking for something else, never satisfied with the moment in the season that you're in. That's why we're missing it, because we're not in the present moment. We're either looking back or we're looking ahead. Lord, what is it that you want me to do in this season? See, if you're listening and you're looking and you're reading and you're praying, you'll know what you need to be doing in this moment. You'll know what you're doing in this season. I'm in a place right now of just keeping my mind just staying and dwelling. Even though I'm going about my business, I'm working, even though I'm doing laundry, even though I'm taking care of my kids, my mind is up on Him. I can't even explain. Just there's an encounter. There is a presence. There is revival. And it's here. Welcome to the move of God. Welcome to the move. And some of us went to the remnant gathering a few weeks ago in Cross Plains, Tennessee. And We had an encounter. And we have to live out those things. And it's not just, it was a weekend. No, I'm changed. I'm changed. And too many people don't leave church changed. They leave the same. I want to leave different because the Lord's still working on me. So as I'm going about my day and my way, I'm keeping my mind fixed up on him. I'm thinking on his word. I'm thinking of how, in whatever I'm doing, how can I see him? How can I hear him? Dwelling, a place of dwelling. Revivals broke out. And you know what I love about this revival at Asbury College? Number one, it's in Kentucky. Woohoo! Yeah, we're blowing our trumpet. But you know what? I told Chad the other night, and we were listening to, we were watching the revival and a video of it on Facebook, and I just started weeping because it was so powerful. It was in the airways. It was powerful. And even Victoria was sitting there beside of us in the middle of the bed, an infant. She's not really an infant. I guess she's a toddler technically now. She didn't know what that was, because that video really doesn't look like a church. I mean, you see people's hands raised, of course, but I mean, she didn't know what that was. But she heard. She has enough purity inside of her. She felt the Spirit of God at not even 2 years old. As her dad turned that video on and they were singing and they were praising, she started doing this, and she started saying, like making little noises and lifting her hands. I wasn't lifting my hands. I was just, tears were rolling. Chad wasn't lifting his hands. He was doing he does this thing, he wipes his eyes when he's trying not to cry, but he's crying. He like keeps like rubbing his eyes. And she lifted her hands. Even at how many months ever old she is, she's not quite 2 yet. She responded to revival. She responded to what was happening in that place from right where she was at. That's powerful. You don't even have to tell a child. They know. They respond to it. There's a purity inside of them. And she just kept raising her little hands and I told Chad, I said, you know what is so powerful about that revival? It's not in a church building. No name over the door. No flashy praise team. I don't even think they have drums. I think there's a guy that plays a box. No flashy lights. Not what we would expect when we think about revival breaking out. I love how God just does things. It's not what we think. And y'all probably heard Sister Rana say that the Lord told her years ago that there would be a move and a revival that would come that no man could take credit for, but no man could deny. And she said, wow, here it is. No man can take credit for that. No preacher, no church. It was a move that happened like that, and nobody can deny it. It's on the news. People are gathering, standing outside the doors. What a time to be alive. What a time to step into it. It's in the air. So, so powerful. So what are you doing in this season? Are you looking back? Are you holding on and looking back and wallowing in your pity and your sorrow from last season? Are you turning back to people and grabbing a hold of them and you can't get your eyes off them to look forward to see what you need to be doing now? Or are you too worried about what's up ahead? Something new. I want a better job. I want a better home. I want a better this. What else can I do different in the ministry? That would be that I've got my eyes fixed on that somebody else down the road is doing that I want to do. When God's called you to do something right now, get your eyes off the church up the road. Ecclesiastes 3, we all know it. Everything has a time. Everything has a time. My house is in a transition right now. We've come out of a season of stretching, a season of learning, a season of growing, season of things being revealed. The Lord looking on the inside and saying, Lord, fix these things. And he will do that when you let him do that. He will say, hey, we need to fix this. This needs to be fixed. And he will do that. So I'm coming out of a season right now where it's a transition. I'm ready for it to be like up here, like fixed and done and ready to roll. I'm not there yet. I'm still having to wait, still having to not grow weary, still having to be in the present moment and do what God's called me to do right now. And that's to dwell, that's to bask, that's to look up on him, to learn, to listen, to step into the move, to be obedient to what's in this season. To everything, there's a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal. You see, he didn't say that we would not, that there wouldn't be bad things, there wouldn't be, rough things that we would have to go through. But he promised that there was a season and a time, and he would make a way, and he would help us, and he would be there. He's our help and our fortress and our strong tower and our shepherd. But there is a time and a season for things, a time for you to heal, a time for you to move on, a time for you to grow, a time to pull some things up, a time to laugh and have fun and just be on the mountain season. There's times for all those. And if it goes on down about all different kinds of times down through verse 8. And then verse 9 says, what profit has the worker from that in which he labors? I have seen the God-given task with the sons of men, with which the sons of men are to be occupied. What profit is it for you to labor and do what you want to do when God's given you a God-given task at hand and you're laboring in yourself? You're doing your own thing. When he's done, he's got tasks for you. He's got things for you to do in this season. But what's it profiting you if it's not what he gave you, if it's not the task that he's divvied out to you to do in this season? You're too worried about back there and up there. You're too worried about getting your shorts out when you still need to be wearing closed-toed shoes or your pants. What is it profiting you? There's a time for that. It's coming. But right now, focus on the God-given tasks that are at hand with you. Well, Deandra, what are the tasks? I don't know. What am I supposed to be doing? Talk to him. Ask him. Get in your prayer closet. I promise you, where you seek him truly, you will find him. I promise you, if you've got an ear turned towards him, you'll hear him. See, lots of times we turn down the volume so low to him or turn it off because we want to say we're listening. I don't know who this is for and where this came from, but you turn down the volume so low and you turn up the noise everywhere else. So you don't really hear him clearly. So you really can't be accountable that you're not listening because you really don't know if you really want to do what he wants you to do or if you want to step in and be obedient because you're afraid. So clear out the noise, turn up the volume to him, turn your ear towards him. He will tell you. You will hear him. He will lead you and guide you when you're positioned to receive from him. Verse 11, he has made everything, not some things, everything beautiful in its time. I don't care what it looks like. In time. I can testify to that so many situations. But now I have to remember that for what I'm walking in. It'll be beautiful. It'll be worked out in time. Not today, maybe not tomorrow. But in this season, I'm going to do what he's called me to do. I'm going to stay in this season until he's ready for me to move on. Not looking back, not looking forward. Because I've caught myself, even recently. But Lord, back here, like it's not where I'm at right now. I'm not back there. I'm here. 2023. I'm here. He has also put eternity in their hearts. If you are a reflection of an eternal God, eternity will be in your heart to meet him, to see him. Heaven will be in your heart, except that no one can find out the work that God does from beginning to end. So you've got to trust and believe today. You got to get your hand off what was back here and your hand off what you're looking for up there. So this was like a last minute thing that I just knew was for today, was for us, was for whoever watches this video. There's a time, and we're to be in the present moment. Now, be ready for the next whenever that comes, but don't be so fixed on what's up there that you're missing what's right here. He's saying, I've given you this stuff to do. You want to move on, but you can't move on till you get this stuff done, until you learn this, until I show you this. Because listen, there's been some seasons, some trials, some things I've been through. And if I would not have stayed in that season for the time that I was supposed to be there, I would have missed it. I would have never got to move on. I would have not been able to see what he was showing me. So I hope this encourages somebody today. I hope that you guys have had a wonderful week so far. I hope that you guys hear me in the spirit with this, even though y'all know how I love fashion, but seriously, hear me in the spirit. And I hope that you guys just are blessed today, and you're just dwelling and listening to him and stepping in to what's going on in the spirit right now. Revival. Revival is not a time limit. Revival is not a building. Revival is not a preacher. Revival is us. It's what we are revived. You must live revived. And what God is doing in this country is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So you guys have a wonderful and blessed evening. And I will see you guys later. Bye.